Hey, what's everyone? Sorry guys, it's been a very long time since I've done a review. I guess you could say I've been just very busy. I know I may say that a lot. But I'm going to be looking to do 2 reviews every single day for quite a while until I get caught up, because even if I do get busy for whatever reasons for that particular day or on a particularly week or something like that, the more and more I put things on hold or the slower pace I go at, if I just keep on doing it at this rate, I'm just going to get more and more behind on these episodes and everything like that. So it's just better just to go ahead and just, put a lot of things all on the side and just to do it and just, try as much to get as caught up as possible, so then I can actually build, be caught up on the newest episode, know what's going on and everything, and actually be able to do things in a more timely manner that doesn't, I guess you could say, feel so time consuming every time I think of doing a review or want to watch a new episode or anything like that. But this is going to be a review for episode 10 of Attack on Titan. I know it's been a very long wait, but sorry again, guys. But the first thing at the very beginning that, was happening was mostly having to do with the other characters, the ones that are friends with the main characters, including Potato Girl, and also known as Sasha, or the other way around, Sasha known as Potato Girl, and everyone else. And there was this one guy, he didn't even actually get a name, I don't think, and he was really, really freaking out, and he was really, really scared. And I can understand, when you see Titans and everything like that, and just see a lot of bad things happen, you really do get shaken up, and it does just boggle your mind quite a bit. And he was particularly upset because he saw one of his own friends die, and he's like, I'm not going to go fight, ever again a Titan. I'm going to be the next one to die and everything like that. And one of the guys, his friend was trying to get, control him and just get him calmed down. And he, was like, hey, look at Sasha, and, she, even though she's seen the very same stuff as you, but she still remains, a very good soldier and very strong, and everything. And then all of a sudden she just almost looked like she was about to gag, but she said her stomach hurts, and then she said, just make me as another one of your casualties. And then the guy's like, that's it, and he tried to bring out the sword and kill himself, and it was getting a little bit crazy. And one of the characters, I don't know why I forgot his name, but the one that I've been talking about quite a bit that has developed more leadership skills, even though he doesn't consider himself a leader, he's gotten a lot of compliments from a lot of other people. And as he did see that he was able to actually save everybody else, he could see that he is the leadership type of person, even if he can't quite admit it himself. But he actually at a point, said that he really, really hopes that they do not find out about Eren and everything having to do with him coming out of the Titan's body and everything like that, particularly on the backside of the neck. And anyways, we get back to the point where, Eren and everyone is just in a bad situation, and Eren at the end of the last episode, he pretty much bit himself in order to save Mikasa and Armin. And the reason is because when he gets hurt, even if it just has any blood come out or anything like that, he immediately turns into a Titan or something like that. Or when he has a sense of danger feeling and he gets damaged, instantly does that. And I still think it's ironic. It looks so much like he's trying to do a, summoning jutsu on Naruto or something like that. But when he brought it out and everything like that, Armin is just a little bit shooken up, which can be understandable. It's not every day you see someone turn into a Titan, and seeing the bones and the flesh and everything like that, everybody else is just scared. And the other guys, all the friends for the main characters and everything like that, and they see the gun smoke and everything like that, and everyone's like, what the heck is going on? Did someone actually get in here? Are they back? Are there more Titans? Is there something going on? And one of the characters, he actually knew, he could just tell that, oh god, it must have to do with Eren, it must. And he got up there, and all those other characters were, just watching it alongside, seeing that Titan and everything like that, and just seeing how things actually happen. And when they actually, were, being shaken up and everything like that, Eren was actually getting to a point where, this is one of the things I actually like to see, was a little bit interesting. It was one of those things kind of expected, though, at the same time, but I was happy to see that he was able to actually get himself out of that body, because it's kind of hard to, because when he was in that state before, or in that Titan's full-fledged body and everything, he didn't actually think, he thought it was a dream. He didn't actually think he was in the body or anything like that. He didn't really know what's exactly was going on. And when your mind and your body is fully connected to this new exterior, big giant form, it's really hard to imagine yourself being able to just get out of that without you looking stupid and moving the, let's just say if you try to yank your arm out, of the Titan's body, you'd be looking like a Titan just moving his arm or something like that. And just the fact that he was able to actually, be more aware of his body and able to actually sense everything to the point that, he could actually, do something, in his real physical form instead of, the Titan's body and everything like that. But it was actually still great to see that. And when he actually got out and everything like that, he actually rushed down to get to Armin and them, and he tried to come up with a plan, actually two plans. But the first plan had to do with him going away and trying to get to that basement, which is one of the things that I've always known, is that the basement is going to have to do with it, and most definitely is. And, when he starts, thinking about it and everything like that, and just, remembering, everything about his dad and how his dad, kind of injected him and had to do with the memory losses and everything he's had. And, he's upset with his dad, like, why did you do this? And where is he right now? And that actually is a good question. And I really like it when those kind of questions arise, because I hate it when, someone gets forgotten about sometimes. But he actually starts wondering about that and everything like that, and he's kind of upset with his dad because he doesn't know why or what happened, but, that just gives him more of a motive, like, we just got to get to that basement to find out, and everything like that. And, he comes with a plan to pretty much just, him go alone and have Mikasa and Eren, or Armin, stay there so then they could at least, not be considered, enemies in any way. And at least that way they'll live. And, of course, Mikasa was being stubborn, being like, no, I must be there to protect you and everything like that. And, Eren was like, I must do it. And if I end up having, to defend myself in Titan form, or end up having to fight against some other Titans, then I will do that in order to get there. And, they were like, how do you know you're going to be able to actually turn back into it pretty quickly? And as he started talking about it, his nose started bleeding. And that's one of those things that actually got me a little bit nervous, is seeing his nose bleeding. And it's like, I really, really hope that we could at least learn more of, what his limits are, how often he can do it, how big of a duration of time we have to wait from one time to another time of him to turn into that Titan form. And exactly, what are the downfalls, what are the bad things that could possibly happen because of this, and under what kind of conditions can this happen, or something like that. And I'm hoping we really do learn more about that, but we can at least see there is some sort of, downfall, at least a little bit of one, and this is still not that bad, considering turning into a Titan and everything. And he comes up with a second plan, and it actually, right before he does, Armin is, just thinking of everything, and he's just so surprised by everything. And then all of a sudden, when he's thinking about this stuff, he suddenly gets memories of, all the times that both Mikasa and Eren actually helped him out, saved him, whether it was from bullies, or from him getting in trouble, or almost getting hurt, or something like that. And he starts, feel just a little bit down, just because he's for the longest amount of time, he's felt like he's a burden. He's just a really heavy weight, for them. He's just dragging, something they're dragging on and everything like that. And he's just, just not exactly helpful. He feels kind of useless to them, because, of how much stronger they've become over the years. And he felt like he's just, gotten far, far behind compared to them. He could just never catch up. And then when, Eren actually, offers, his second plan, and he actually, gives, Armin the option to make the decision on how they're going to react. And his reasoning turns out to be, because Armin has made some great decisions, which was proven within the last few episodes. He made some great, quick plans that were actually very smart and effective and actually worked out very well. And so we gave him that option, and Armin's like, why? Why are you giving me the option, or asking me the question? And he's like, because I've always, went to you for these kind of questions, even when the situation gets really, really bad. And, he's like, when? And then he starts and Eren reminds him, and then, Armin starts remembering some times when he actually did help them out. And, he starts realizing that he hasn't been a burden. He's actually helped them out. He's saved them sometimes. And he's actually, been a really great help to everyone. And he hasn't been just, falling behind and, useless to them or anything like that, And, he gets more confident, and he gets to that state where he realizes that, he's going to have to, go to the, the actual, the captain, and just tell him, offer him, as much information as possible, let them know what's going on, and just pretty much surrender in return for just their safety in general. And when he does that, he actually remembers that, just like the captain said, you got all these witnesses. And then Armin's like, yes, there's all these witnesses. Don't you remember when the Titan was fighting for us and fighting against the other Titans? Even when he was getting, just attacked from all sides from multiples of them, he still used every last bit of energy, even when he was armless, to take every one of them Titans out and everything like that. And then everyone starts putting down their swords, start really feeling confused and just questioning themselves, just really, what should I do? Should I attack it or not? and they start wondering about that. And the good question is, of course, if he was a bad guy, he would have killed them all right then and there. They were at his mercy, kind of. He could have killed all of those guys, but he didn't. And the captain was being a bit more stubborn, and, even after that, and, Armin, of course, he offered to completely surrender himself, and, just promise to do everything he can to help them out in the best way possible, and, that Eren is not any damage to humanity. And the captain was being a bit stubborn, and, he was about to lift up his hand and call upon the attack. And luckily, at the very last second, the commander shows up, and, he calls him stubborn, as usual, and he stops him from calling the attack. And that was really great, because Mikasa, she was getting her sword out, she was about to get ready to attack, and it looks like Eren was about to bite himself to try to turn into a Titan again. And it was really, really great timing. I'm not gonna lie, that was getting very bad. And it was just, it was bad on the captain's part, because he just was not forgivable, which, it was just really, really bad. He wasn't considering anything, just how much help, it would be to have one good Titan on their side. Like, no joke. And anyways, we get to the point, where the captain, or the commander, is telling the captain, just gather up all these troops and, get ready over here and everything, and I will talk to Eren and, all these kids and everything like that. And he said he has a good feeling about, that he needs to talk to these kids. And he actually, talks to them and everything, gets a good idea what's going on. Eren and them explain what's going on and everything. And, he actually gets to a point where he asks, Eren, if Armin came up with the idea that, Eren could actually, get a big giant boulder or something and try to cover this big giant hole that the Titans are coming through. So that way they don't have to worry about the Titans anymore, which would be very great. And the guy asks him, can you do that for me? And, he said, he doesn't know what he can do, he feels just as clueless as everybody else, about his Titan abilities and everything like that, since he's kind of new to it still. And, he asks him, will you do it, or will you try? And he runs like, he starts looking around, he looks at that hole and everything, and he just realizes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And that was really, really great to see. And just, I knew that this is going to be one of those, times when, there's going to be some sort of decision he's going to have to make. And I'm not going to lie, this is just me probably going too much into it, but I feel like that old man, we're going to have to watch him a little bit. I feel like his reasoning behind things might be a little bit suspicious. That might be just me. I'm probably just looking too much into it. Try not to do any spoilers, but I really feel like he wants what's in that basement or something, just something bad. Like, he's going to get to the basement before Eren or something, and just, it's not going to be good, really. And, or maybe just a little bit suspicious. And, when they pretty much get guaranteed total safety, by the commander, in return for them helping out and everything like that. And, the commander did say that he's going to do whatever he can, and he feels that he will definitely be able to get to that basement, and he made it sound more like he's going to be able to get to the basement, not Eren. So that was one of the reasons I said a little bit suspicious. And a little bit later when they start actually walking, or actually, no, that's not it, but yeah, and that's pretty much how it ends. And, I really like this episode. One of the things I will say that was good about this episode is that I like the animation was a bit better. It wasn't, the best, but it was really good. It was just clean. It was awesome. And I was really happy to see there was no scenes where they had like a picture, kind of like a slideshow where it was just moving picture, and I just really hate seeing that. I've seen that through a lot of episodes, or at least 2 or 3 of them, and we didn't see any of that in this episode. Then again, this is one of those episodes where there's not too much action scenes, so there's not really much of a reason to have that kind of stuff. But then again, they've done that before when they were just walking and doing simple things like that. But it was really good to see that, and there's still a lot of questions and a lot of things we really want to wonder about. Of course, the basement, and what are his downfalls of becoming a Titan? How often can he do it? How long does he have to wait? And one thing I will say that is I do feel a little bit like this episode was a bit centered around Armin, just because it seemed like, this was a big step up for his character development. And one of the things I gotta say that was a slight drawback is that when he, did that big salute and he just yelled and, he gave everything, he offered everything he could, to try to help out Mikasa and Armin, or Eren, and it was a little bit overly dramatic. He did it too loud, and it was overly dramatic overall, and that was one of those slight downfalls of this episode. But it was really great overall, and I'm still really, just wondering about a lot of things, and I just really can't wait. Not too much happened, but there was still a little bit of everything, you know, character development. There was still some questions to be, you know, need to be answered. There was a couple of things that we learned, and there was, you know, a new character, not exactly a new character, but someone kind of introduced, and, you know, we're going to a new direction, and we're going to actually see more stuff actually happening very soon. But that's pretty much today, guys, and sorry, guys, it's a very long review, but I'm going to try to do as many reviews as soon as possible for you guys, and yeah, so thanks again, guys, for watching, and I will see you guys in the next review.